Since I was a kid, I've been a G. If I was you, I could have won. I'm so tired of my body. She just won't, I don't mind it. Ever since I was a G, I've been a G. You should never know she wanted me.
Good evening everyone and welcome to the broadcasting lounge for what promises to be an action-packed finale. This is round 4 of the Supercars NZ MRP GTE Championship coming to you from the legendary Long Beach Street Circuit. After 3 rounds of elbows out competition, strategy plays and championship twists, it all comes down to this, the final showdown. The streets of Long Beach are narrow, unforgiving and absolutely brutal on mistakes. One wrong move and these concrete walls remind these drivers just how little room they have to breathe. Tonight, every point matters. The title fight is still alive, tempers are simmering and the drivers know this is their last chance to make a statement in the GTE machines. Expect bold overtakes into turn 1, high risk moves through the fountain section and absolute commitment in that final hairpin. We're thrilled to have you with us for the conclusion of what has been an incredible season of racing, and with that, it's time to bring in my co-commentator for tonight's action, Corey Kitchen, ready to break down the stories, strategy, and every bit of drama Long Beach will deliver. Corey, mate, welcome into the lounge. What are you expecting from this championship decider?
Wow, I think whoever keeps it off the wall is going to probably be the happiest, because there's walls everywhere as street circuit. So I'm looking forward to a championship decider, I guess. That's where I'm going to go with that, Shano.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a championship decider as well. Very exciting. We'll get into some calculations for the championship in a moment, but before we do that, we can have a look at the track map there and conditions for tonight, so you can see the track map on the right hand side. Some very tight corners in amongst the concrete jungle. You can see the cars snaking their way through there in the warm-up at the moment, which is almost done. We've got 24 degrees ambient temperature, 59% humidity and a little bit of cloud around, so it will be interesting to see how track conditions go for the guys out there tonight.
Yeah, just the circuit. I never mastered it, Shane. Out of all of the street circuits on the service, this one is my least favourite, I think. But it's still above a lot of other not boring circuits, because it's definitely not a boring circuit. It's one that challenges you so many ways.
It definitely does challenge you, and it is very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it tonight. So we mentioned the championship fight. It's actually so close through such a short season in a championship where it's quite tight with the way points are handed out that everyone down to Aaron Goodrick in P12 is actually mathematically within shot of a championship here. 70 points available for the win, and Aaron Goodrick is 70 points behind P1 Sean McNamara. But realistically, we're looking at Sean McNamara and Mitchell Sparrow. Sean has to be outside of the top 13 and Mitchell Sparrow outside of the top 6. For anybody else, Leith Swinney being in third, he would then have to win the race to come into contention. So we're looking at Sean and Mitch. Basically, Mitch has to go out and win this race. That's his best chance. But then even then, if Sean finishes inside the top 4, he will do enough to wrap it up. And so far so good for Sean McNamara, because he is going to be off the pole tonight. He's done a fantastic job in qualifying to stick at 0.43 clear of Mitchell Sparrow there. So he's in the box seat, but he's going to have to survive the early carnage. Of course, out front and in a place like this is the best place to be to survive that carnage. Mitchell Sparrow starting alongside him there on the front row. And then we go back to Steve Darren, very good performance in qualifying to line up P3. Leith Swinney in 4th, and then Dylan Radford and Rob Carwood there on the 3rd row. Aaron Goodrick and Wayne Hartnell on the 4th. And then we've got Josh Thompson and Jonathan Turner rounding out the top 10 before we go back to Dan Turner, Blake Greenhill, Matthew Gerard, Oliver Foote, Tom McCall, Phil Carpenter. And then looks like Phil's going to be off the bat because Peter, Dion and Jono all in race control tonight.
Yeah, it's a wee field, isn't it? 16 cars gonna let a rip around here, and we're gonna be naming our last championship of the year. Or that winner of the year. Sorry, mumbled me words. It's been a long one, hasn't it, mate?
It has. This particular championship has been a short one, just 4 weeks, but it's been a long season, 12 weeks of hard racing. We wrapped up the GT3 series 4 weeks ago tonight and had 4 weeks of exciting GTE action that all culminates here tonight. Race control are given the direction for a single file run through the final corner on the race start. They can then bunch up and run down to the green flag. Race start will be on green flag. Mitchell Sparrow getting his car right in there. Maybe didn't quite get the brief, but he bunches up now and draws alongside Sean McNamara, and we are getting ready to go for this one. We'll get as many people into formation as we can, but we're going to get the green flag, and we are underway now. Sean McNamara alongside Mitchell Sparrow. Sean gets the jump. Mitchell Sparrow is into the fence, and it's a massive pile up. Massive, massive, massive. This is going to be a safety car for sure.
Yeah, everybody's got moving. Maybe somebody should have braked maybe there as well. Got
Dan
Dan
Turner looks to
maybe
be
he's calling for a
stranded.
tow.
Looks like he might be. He looks to be stranded there, but this plays perfectly into Sean McNamara's hands because, well, all he needed to do anyway was finish in the top 4, but his title rival is all the way down the back, and there's more carnage at turn 1, by the way. Looks like we do
Yeah,
have Dion DeGraff getting ready to head out onto track in the safety
yeah,
car.
safety car has been called. I
Okay.
didn't have comms turned on, but we've got 2 cars stranded. Is that turn 1? So we've had Jono Gibson call for a tow. Dan Turner also, no, he looks like he's got moving.
No, Dan Turner's still sitting there just after the start
Oh,
finish
he
line.
has to.
Leith
Yep, so we've got,
Swinney looks to be stranded there at turn 1 along with Rob Carwood. Aaron Goodrick limping that heavily damaged car back to the pits, and I think he will probably need to end up towing as well because he doesn't look to have much control over that. Matthew Gerard limping back as well. Mitch Sparrow
wow.
not looking too bad damage wise, and he will get in and take a fast repair and get onto the back of this train, but his job just got a whole lot harder because, as we said, the best thing he can do to give himself the best chance of winning the championship tonight is to go out there and win the race, and that just got a hell of a lot harder.
Still, there's 40 odd minutes, probably around 40 odd, just over 40 minutes left of racing after the safety car cycle has happened. So we've got a few cars come down the lane. Wayne Hart and Josh Thompson, Mitchell Sparrow, Lee Swinnington. Goes to the start.
Oh, so potentially equipment failure again for Mitchell Sparrow there on the start because it seemed like he went and then his car just slowed up again. I wouldn't imagine he just got out of it at that point. He tried to get over to the right, but certainly didn't go anywhere. And look at that! That was a very good example of what not to do when you come across a crash on a straight there, ploughing straight into it.
Yeah, well, ultimately that caused Dan Turner. He's one of the ones that had to tow. Looks like everybody's now towed. We've got Lee Swinney, Rob Carwood, Aaron Goodrick still in the lane. Jono Gibson has towed to the lane. So 10 cars out on track, Shano.
So I thought this might be what happened to turn 1, but I think this is going to be Aaron Goodrick coming across the... so he must have already had damage from that earlier crash. And then I think we are going to see... Oh no, that's just a bunch of people arriving there a touch too quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, cars maybe with a little bit of damage as well, trying to get around a corner and not turning.
Oh, look at that timing from Aaron Goodrick. Just stays on the lead lap as he comes out of the pits.
Yeah, he's got a probably a lap. I'd say they're going to come in this lap. Yes, just getting the word now. Green this lap, Shano.
Yep, so going green this lap. Restarts are always single file here at Supercars NZ, so it will be a single file restart once we complete this lap. I'm sure Matt and
Yeah,
Mara will have control once the safety car pulls away.
a few guys have made up a few spots too. Oliver Foote, he's up 9 spots into P9. Blake Greenhall, Thomas McCall, and Phil Gunter all up 8 spots, all in the top 8 at the moment. So it looks like we've got 12 cars, 13 cars. Everyone actually is back out on track. So back to 16. There's a few cars playing catch up, but they've got 40 odd minutes.
Yeah, still plenty of time to go in this race, and those guys that were caught up in that start line drama will have plenty of time to work their way through. And I'll be keeping an eye on Mitchell Sparrow because we've seen in the past how quickly he's been able to work his way through the field after things haven't gone right for him at the start, and I'm sure tonight will be no different, and he will be trying to get to the front. Sean McNamara, of course, is there at the moment, and if Mitchell gets to him, knows that he doesn't actually need to fight him because as long as he finishes P4, it doesn't matter what Sparrow does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all going to come down to strategy. We've seen it time and time again, haven't we? And we're about to go back green racing. Sean McNamara has everybody in the mirror.
He does, and he left it to the last possible moment, not wanting to give anyone any more of a draft than he needs to. Steve Darren able to stay relatively close on the restart, but just a little bit too far back to think about a move into the braking zone at turn 1. There's a move coming down the inside here. Looks like Matthew Gerard on Mitchell Sparrow, sorry, on Josh Thompson. He gets one of those spots done, moves up into P10, gets that pass done comfortably before the fountain section, which, let me tell you, is a spot you do not want to try and go too wide.
So we find ourselves at the last race of the 2025 Supercars NZ sort of season. We sort of class the next one as 2026, but we won't argue about 3 weeks. But anyway, Sean McNamara is fighting for a championship, sitting in the front. Teammate and weekly sponsor Steve Darren sitting in second, so he's got a little bit of protection. So who, in this situation, who's Chaz Mostert and who's Ryan Wood?
Well, you'd have to say Sean's Chaz Mostert and Steve Darren's Ryan Wood, surely. He's the rear gunner.
Yeah, Mozzie and Woody out the front.
That's a good point because Steve Darren, teammate and team boss to Sean McNamara.
Yeah,
Jigsaw Projects, and
sponsor.
yeah, while we're talking about that, big thanks to Steve and Jigsaw Projects for getting on board as our final weekly sponsor for the season.
Yeah, Sean not sporting the family colours. He's been running the Valvoline and everything lately, and it's been maybe giving him a little bit of luck.
Yeah, certainly had luck last week when it all went wrong for Mitchell Sparrow, and mind you, Sean was there to pick up the pieces in that case. Everybody else had the same opportunity, and it was Sean that took it with open hands. Oliver Foote continuing his march through the field, up 9 positions on the back of Blake Greenhill, who equally impressively up 8 positions. So those guys, I guess, getting through the lap 1 drama cleanly.
Yeah, I swear, through this 4-week championship, the Porsches have multiplied each week, or they've plus one. We seem to find a new one each week. Blake leading the Porsche run. Dylan Radford at the Ford sitting in third though, so a bit of props there. He's got the worst sounding car engine noise, but doing alright. A couple of bimmers in front of him.
Oliver Foote goes up the inside on Blake and moves into P4. That's double digit movement for Oliver now, up 10 spots from where he started and into P4, 3 seconds off the podium at the moment, but he's showing good pace out there, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if he's able to close down that gap to Dylan Radford. Dylan also engaging in a bit of a battle with Steve Darren at the moment. Is with Steve Darren just backing off to let Sean get a gap out in front. Steve maybe playing the rear gunner role here and just making sure that if, as Mitchell Sparrow makes his way up through the field, potentially it's all a bit more bunched up if Steve's able to back it all up here.
Yeah, so I was a bit of chatter on the radio. I was having a little listen, and the incident at the start of the race is going to be investigated post-race, which I think live race control could have maybe sorted that out, but yeah, maybe they couldn't see what they needed to.
Yeah, I think it's a fair call there because there's obviously something that's gone on with Mitchell Sparrow, and I think that's what it all hangs on is why has he slowed up? I think it seems pretty clear that he hasn't just backed out of it. So if there's something outside of his control, then it's probably just going to have to go down as a racing incident because it is the slowing up of Mitch Sparrow there that set it all off. Potentially other things worth looking at as far as people not slowing down as they come into a crash, but there's a lot to unpack there, so I think a fair call to make it a post-race investigation.
Yeah, might be quite a bit to look at, I suppose. All is quiet for them at the moment. Everybody is sort of getting into a bit of a rhythm. Dylan Radford's found himself up and behind Steve Darren, so now he's playing protector of his prize, Sean McNamara.
Just in the last couple of laps, it looked like Steve appeared to give the wall a rub there. That just could be a little bit of the way iRacing is rendering that on my end because it doesn't look as though he's picking up any damage from it. He's still running alright, and you think even if he was just rubbing it down the wall, he'd lose a little bit of momentum out of there, and that doesn't seem to be the case either. So potentially just a wee network rendering issue there.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, if you want to get amongst this sort of stuff, you can. At the moment, you can sign up. You can head to the... Oh, Aaron Goodrick requested to tow. He's sitting in the middle of the track, apparently.
Oh yeah, he's got that front wheel all jammed up. He's trying to limp it back. He's getting it out of the way quite nicely. I don't think he's going to be able to get it back, but he's got it to a safer position. Whether they deem that removable without a safety car remains to be seen as the leaders come past to put him a lap down. And we do have a safety car, and Sean dives straight to the pits. Steve Darren dives straight for the pits. Dylan Radford dives straight for the pits. Oliver Foote dives straight for the pits. I think we're going to see the bulk of the field come in here. I went to Mitchell Sparrow because I thought maybe because of the early drama he might switch to an offset strategy here, but even he has chosen to come to the pits. So I think we're expecting a couple of stops tonight, and presumably by the look of it, this is right in the window for that first stop.
Yeah, it looks like 36 litres. There's all the, never mind, I'm in the BMW, that won't work. The safety car.
I think what I saw in the information was about 30%, so less than a third of capacity, and I believe these cars normally do about an hour on a tank with full capacity, so probably looking at about 20 minutes per tank, which would then put them 10 minutes short on a one-stopper. So I think we are expecting a couple of stops. Jonathan Turner has stayed out on that first stop, so or on the safety car anyway. So potentially hoping that with the early safety car and more safety car laps now, that'll reduce the number of laps that they have to do. And while they're behind the safety car, they can roll around and use less fuel. So he may well be hoping that this can save him enough fuel to get him into that one-stop window. That will remain to be seen.
Yeah, well, he can only hope. And that's what it's all about. You've got to take a little bit of a risk to get some reward.
Absolutely, and he's up 9 spots now, so he was P10, coming up 9 spots. Actually, he's coming to the pits now, so he's abandoned that strategy, so that's ultimately going to hurt him more as everybody bunches up behind the safety car. Mind you, it wasn't too bunched up, so it might not hurt him too badly, but there is quite a lot of cars coming through now that are going to get the jump on him now that he is in pit lane, so I think it's going to drop him back further than where he was.
So just doing some wave rounds. So everybody that was caught up in that turn 1 incident is going to get a wave around now, so they can get back on the lead lap. So they've got plenty of time to get around and maybe make some passes. So, like you said, it's still mathematically quite a few people in with a chance, but at the moment, this man on screen has got one hand on the trophy. That it doesn't exist, by the way, the trophy, that is.
But he sure does have one imaginary hand on that imaginary trophy.
Yes, yeah, there we go. You can't see it, but I'm actually, my 2 fingers, I'm flicking them up and down. So, yeah. But yeah, so I was saying before all that action started to unfold that you can get signed up for summer. Head to Supercars NZ community group or the Supercars NZ page on Facebook, or if you're on Discord, you can go to the Supercars NZ Discord. If you're not on the Discord, then you can go to Facebook and get the link to the Discord. Find yourself that sign-up sheet, get signed up for summer, and come and do some racing. We've got GT3s, we've got V8 supercars, and there's bound to be a little bit of fun along the way as well.
There sure is, and I'm very excited about the first round of the V8s next season because we go straight into the brand new Adelaide Street Circuit, brand new to iRacing, of course, very, very old and, well, not very old, but historic venue in real life, and now it's finally come to the iRacing platform, and we get to race some V8s there week 1 of the new season, but it looks like we're ready to go racing here in the GTEs once again at Long Beach. Sean changing it up and goes straight out of the hairpin this time. Almost catches Steve napping a little bit. Or maybe not catches him napping, but catches him at a point where he couldn't accelerate out of that hairpin. Steve getting a good little gap on Dylan Radford as well. Mitchell Sparrow up into P5 already, so he's coming through very quickly. That safety car helping him out, compressing the field again, and he makes short work of Blake Greenhill down into turn 1 on the restart. Little bit of getting the tail wagging on the exit there, and for a second I just held my breath and thought he might clip the tyres as a result, but he got away with that one.
It would be quite good to get a Jigsaw 1-2 on a week that Jigsaw's sponsoring, because I think once this season we had weekly sponsor win a race. I can't remember which round it was, but it happened somewhere along the way, because it seems to ring a bell.
Yes, I definitely remember that, but again, I can't remember the details on the race, the venue, or the particular sponsor that won the race.
Now it's got me stumped now. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. So Josh Thompson, his mum, she's in the chat. She's saying hello and wishing. I think the well G might have been in reference to turn 1, lap 1.
Well, not even turn 1. Before they got anywhere near turn 1. Jonathan Turner and Phil Carpenter going side by side. JT getting that position to move into the top 10. It's a tough track to pass on. That turn 1 move is probably the best passing zone, but you've really got to get the run off the hairpin to make it work, because it's very tricky to stay close in behind another car. You do pick up a good draft if you can stay close enough, and if you've got the pace, you can then get that opportunity to fire down the inside at one, but it is very tricky to get it set up right. Probably the other spot that can work is down the end of this little straight here into the parking lot section, but that's a very tricky section and very tricky place to make a move, and you have to make sure you get all the way down there before the apex to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's one of those tracks where you want to get a good run out of the corner. Like a lot of street circuits, probably, for example, that's probably what you want. This one in particular has a couple of decent straights where, like you say, you can get a bit of draft. But get that good run out of the corner and get past them before the next corner is probably your best, safest bet. Josh Thompson making a move down the inside on Balaki.
Yeah, Blake's seen him come in and giving him plenty of room there, didn't bother firing that one too hard.
It's always good to get a pass live, isn't it?
It is, and I saw that gap closing up pretty tight and jumped to him for that reason. Leith Swinney going side by side with Dan Turner here. So looking at how early that's come about, I'd say one of those guys has been slow off the hairpin, and then the other one's been able to get alongside. I have a feeling it might have been Leith slow off the hairpin and Dan able to get alongside on the exit there. Mitchell Sparrow, oh, 3 wide here. Steve Darren, Mitchell Sparrow and Dylan Radford, and Steve and Dylan are still bumping. I can't believe that. Oh, it's not over. Oh, Mitchell has to reverse. Oh, it's a bit of a logjam here. Oh, he's going backwards the wrong way, as Dion would say, and now there's a pile up on corner exit as well. Wayne Hartnell, Oliver Foote involved in that. Oh, Aaron Goodrick nowhere to go.
Getting it sneaky fast.
Oh, wow. I think after all of that, it's going to clear itself. Nobody picking up a huge amount of damage. So we had a bit of a parking lot there for a moment, but...
Oh, poor Steve. He's letting everybody go. He's doing the right thing, of course, not just ploughing his way back out there, but unlucky. Locked up. I think he just locked up. Something happened there, but it's definitely a corner that causes lots of mischief, doesn't it?
It does, and it definitely did just then. And, well, I was impressed that it didn't come to tears on the way into that section at the end of the straight, and then it sort of did end in tears in the hairpin. And hopefully I can pick up exactly what went down there on the replay. So Steve and Dylan were doing battle out of here. Mitchell tucking into the draft and looking to get the opportunity. Goes 3 wide down the inside, and then they all arrive down here. There's a bit of a touch. Dylan, I think, recognising that he was the meat of the sandwich and getting out of it. And then Steve runs into the wall. Bangs with Dylan Radford on the run down there. And then, yeah, I think you're right. He did just lock up and get into the back of Mitchell Sparrow. And that sent him wide. Good recovery from Mitchell. Didn't lose too much in the end. Unfortunately for Steve, had to sit there for a very long time. And those next guys on the scene, just nowhere to go. Good job for Aaron Goodrick there. Just cruised on through and goes, I'll take all those spots, thank you very much.
Yes, there was a sneaky little, I'll take those 4 spots. But he's had a rough race, so got to take what you can get. He was actually unlapping himself, I believe, wasn't he? From them.
Yes, I think you might be correct on that one. Mitchell Sparrow on the back of Josh Thompson now. Sean McNamara 3 seconds clear of this battle group, but Mitchell Sparrow is coming. Of course, we know that Sean doesn't actually necessarily need to fight Mitchell that hard. As long as he stays in the top 4, it doesn't matter if Mitch goes on and cruises to a victory in the second half of this race.
Yeah, bide your time, bide your time. And a big shout out to Barry and the team at MRP for a big long year of sponsoring again. And we really do appreciate Barry. And you can head to mrpsimracing.co.nz and find yourself a bargain for Christmas, Shano. Maybe, you know, the hubby, the boyfriend, the son, the daughter, maybe, if your daughter's into sim racing, you can definitely get everything you need under one roof. Full sim, and yeah, all the top gear available as well, and affordable stuff as well, Shane.
Yeah, absolutely. Good gear at decent prices over at MRP Sim Racing. I would never call sim racing cheap, but certainly fair pricing over there at MRP. So check them out, check out their range of products, and it's all very good quality products as well, which is an important thing to consider as well. You can get some lower end products that won't give you the same experience and will probably just leave you wanting to spend a whole lot more money further down the track. So sometimes it is better to just spend the money up front and get some of that slightly higher end gear.
I guess from personal experience, both of us, that is the best advice you can give to somebody getting into sim racing. Don't go and get yourself something cheap thinking that you'll just start off doing that and upgrade, because once you open that can of worms or jump into that rabbit hole that is sim racing, it's limitless. Like what you can do now, wrap around screens, you know, full motion, up in the air, crazy stuff like what's at Simblacks, and yeah, it's crazy what's available to you. And you know, seatbelt tensioners, you've got vibrating things that you can put on all four corners of your to feel every curb, but you can't feel the speed.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one sensation that you really can't recreate. But there's a lot of stuff out there to go a long way to recreating the feeling of racing. The G-forces, the best wraparound screens can go a long way to recreating the sensation of speed through your eyesight, but obviously you're not getting that actual feeling of literally moving along at 200k an hour. You just can't recreate that when you're stationary, but sim racing is certainly as close as you can get to the real thing without actually going out and doing the real thing. And as much money as you can spend, it's certainly a lot cheaper than one of these GTE cars.
That's right, yeah, and
Oh,
you can hit a wall or touch a wall and not have to worry about the repair bill.
like Josh
This
Thompson just
little
did.
battle, yeah, this little battle's been going on for a wee while, hasn't it? And Dylan's just made that forward wide enough to make it a little bit tough. Josh has got a good run out of that corner. He's going to get round the inside here.
Oh, I've
Mitchell
got deja
Sparrow is
vu
going to be
here.
sniffing. Yeah, Mitchell Sparrow is going to be sniffing for any chance he can get.
I think thought better of making it 3 wide on this occasion. It looked very similar to the Dylan Radford, Steve Darren, Mitchell Sparrow scenario from a few laps ago, but played out a lot differently in the end, and they've all got through there. Interestingly, just on that previous lap, Mitchell had dropped back a little bit from this battle and then moved forward again. So I'm not sure if he made a little
Oh,
mistake
no.
there, or what have you seen?
Yeah, oh, hang on. Okay, so Mitchell Sparrow and Steve Darren have been handed a drive-through penalty for that incident
Oh,
at the last corner. So avoidable contact, I guess, would be the
yeah. So that's going to be another setback for Mitch Sparrow. Mitch Sparrow there. He's just moved his way back into the podium positions, but he's going to have to take a tour of the lane. We are over halfway through this race now as well. Everybody having completed at least one pit stop. Pretty much all on lap 8. Jonathan Turner was lap 9 coming in on the second lap of that safety car. There's a couple of lap 5 stoppers there.
So Steve Darren's opted to get in and get that pit stop, I think, or get that drive-through done. He is back out on track now. Mitchell Sparrow doing the same on screen.
He sure is. And Dylan Radford, we saw him running well early on in this race. He's got a little bit of damage to the front of that Ford, and I wonder if that's just costing him a little bit of frontline speed, because he's coming under attack from Tom McCall now, and seems to be going backwards a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, just a little quiet period, isn't it? You know, the track temperature's 31, mid 31 degrees. So that's probably good sort of temperature for these cars. Oh, we've got a car number 4. Phil Carpenter requesting a tyre. So something has come a cropper. We're going to wait and see if we get a safety car. He's in a bit of a spot.
He's stranded on the back straight there.
It's been called.
Okay, so we do have another safety car, so everybody's going to bunch up again. We're past the halfway mark. I wonder if... Yeah, so we're going to see Sean come in and top off the fuel. I was thinking those first stops that we'd seen were probably a little bit too early to be able to get to the end, even with the fuel saved under safety car now, and it looks like the majority thinking along those lines and getting into the pits. Jonathan Turner was the one that missed the initial pitting under safety car last time around. This time he gets in there straight away, so not having to pay the price for that. But
Do you know what? I miss Scott Pickering in the comments telling me it's 9 o'clock. I'll be back.
So this should allow everybody to fuel up enough to get home now. We've got about 20 minutes remaining in the race, so that is pretty much bang on what we were expecting the fuel capacity to be, about 20 minutes, and obviously they'll have to do a little bit extra after the checkered flag comes out. Dan Turner's actually stayed out and moves to the race lead now. Josh Thompson has had a good spot and closed right up on Sean McNamara. But as I was saying, as Steve Darren gets cleared to pass the safety car, he's a lap down there, so he's allowed to go around and get back onto the back of this queue. But as I was saying, they will have to do a little bit of extra time to finish the lap after the checkered flag comes out. So that would be a factor. They might have to do a little bit more than 20 minutes, but they're going to be able to save fuel under the safety car period anyway, which should make sure they've got enough to do an extra lap if they need to. Dan Turner, though, I believe will need to stop again. He last stopped on lap 7. He's our race leader at the moment, hasn't so far stopped under the safety car, and I think that's going to be a long way to go to get to the end, unless he thinks that with the safety car running that we've had, and potentially he's been able to do some other saving, maybe he thinks he can get there, but I would be sceptical. They've done a reasonably long way already in this race since the last pit stop, and I think they've sort of only just got enough to get home from here, and he does now, Dan Turner, come to the pits, so taking the latest stop, much like Jonathan Turner did under the previous safety car.
Oh, well, my little chores are done. It doesn't take long to flick some things on to save some electricity. But we're back into the swing of it. The last sort of 15, well, it would be 15 minutes of racing, I reckon. By the time the safety car gets around another lap.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
Shadow,
probably a pretty good estimation there.
You've you got some news about what's happening next season for you. You're going to be having a little bit of a break, mate.
Yeah, so taking a season off next season. So for the time being, this will be my last Supercars NZ stream. I will obviously be back in the broadcasting lounge next Wednesday for the Soapbox Derby. But yeah, for the time being, this is it for me in the broadcasting lounge for Supercars NZ. I'm going to be out on track when I can, and you'll see me out on track in both the V8s and GT3s and GTEs as well at the end of the season, hopefully. But yeah, quite likely I'll be back in the future, but exactly how that looks, we're not sure. there were plans in place for Stephen McCartan to jump in next season and cover me, but I think sort of worked out that he's not able to commit to doing the full season, so he's going to, I think, jump in where he can. And for the remainder of the season, basically, Sean and Wayne are going to go week for week between doing the V8s and the GT3s.
So Sean's going to do some streaming.
Well, no, he's going to do some commentating with Wayne.
Right. So safety cars in pit lane. Sean McNamara, again, for the third time tonight, has control of the field, and he has turned that corner and put the foot down.
Yeah, it worked well for him last time, going straight out of that hairpin. First attempt, he left it to the last minute to try and negate the toe, but I think he's worked out from the last time that going straight out of that hairpin has enabled him to just drive away, while this time Josh Thompson, last time Steve Darren, was still in the hairpin and is able to open up that gap once again. Wayne Hartnell down their scope road at turn 1.
I tell you what, this safety car probably played into Mitchell Sparrow's case pretty well, didn't it? He got that drive through, he served it, and the safety car came out not too long after that. So he finds himself in 7th, so he's only 5 spots down from where he started the race, and he hasn't had a good night, but he's still in the fight.
Yeah, he's still out there. He can still potentially get to where he needs to be to take the win. Of course, P7 can be a championship winning position for him. He would then need Sean to be P14 or lower. That would also offer an opportunity if Leith Swinney won the race. He would then take it over, but Leith Swinney just behind Mitchell Sparrow in P8 at the moment.
Yeah, that's in Sean's position. You sort of feel like you're safe, but one little mistake and the heart rate starts to rise, doesn't it? You sort of, the closer you get to the end of the race, the more tension you're probably going to be feeling.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what a place to decide a championship. And when Sean's in that position where he's absolutely in the box seat at the moment, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. But it could all, just in the blink of an eye, like you say, as Jonathan Turner proves just how quickly it can go wrong with a small mistake. He finds himself 90 degrees to the wall and waiting for the field to come past and rejoin. He's kept it out of the wall, but it does just show if Sean McNamara makes a mistake like that at the moment, he could drop right back, and if he drops back out of the top 14, P6 that Mitchell Sparrow's in at the moment would be enough.
JT needs to map a button for the traction control and flick it off. Could have just done a wee bit of a flick turn there. The turning circle on these things is a little bit on the crap side, isn't it? But Mitchell Sparrow finds himself up another spot into P6, up behind Blake Greenhall now.
Worth noting as well, I'm seeing a black flag next to Mitchell Sparrow's name on my timing, so I wonder if that's incident points maybe?
Oh, I can't see that.
Oh, that's right.
Somebody didn't make me add one. Yeah, there's one up beside Aaron Goodrick as well.
Yes, I am seeing that as well.
Need more information, eh? Like iRacing needs to, why are they on a black flag? We need that, iRacing. But thank you very much for the service that you provide us. Oh yeah, it's been working a treat.
It sure has, and iRacing continually improving their service. They've brought out a new UI this year, which has changed the game a little bit, and they've actually just brought out some more new updates to that as well, which enable you to run different things, different pages of your black box in different positions. So I'm told. I haven't tried that out yet, but I hear you can have your relative in one place and your weather somewhere else and your standing somewhere else, so you don't have to keep flicking between pages of your black box anymore.
Oh, that is pretty cool. And Mitchell Sparrow, Thomas McCall both coming in the lane. Aaron Goodrick, he's also in the lane. So getting enough fuel to get home, maybe now, just topping her up.
Well, Tom McCall showing a meatball there. I think Mitchell Sparrow's serving that black flag that he had.
Oh, right, yeah, drive through. Yep, so it will be incident points. It's one of those tracks, so 15 incident points doesn't last you long.
No, it doesn't, and Mitchell Sparrow's certainly been in the thick of it tonight, so I'm not entirely surprised that he has managed to tick over those incident points, and it puts him down the order again, and again looking to make a comeback. I think another safety car would be good for him, but with just over 10 minutes remaining, I think it's too late. I think if there's any more incidents, race control will just let it play out. Interestingly, for the first time tonight since Mitch Sparrow got sent into the wall well before turn one, Sean McNamara actually coming under a little bit of pressure from Josh Thompson.
Yeah, the young fella all over the back of him. Wow, he was. He sort of didn't get a good run out of that final corner, did he?
Yeah, it's hard when you're behind another car to get the right run through there, and you actually sort of have to take a wider line in there, give up a little bit of time on entrance and try and get the tighter line on the exit to get the run onto the straight. So Joshua will need to experiment with some different lines through that hairpin, I think, if he's going to want to try and make the move down into turn one. There are a couple of spots where you can see him move up the inside, but running it down the wall like that won't help him.
No, and it is their fastest laps. There isn't too much in it. Just a 1:17.303 for Sean McNamara, which is the fastest lap of the race. 1:17.482 for Josh, and Wes Mitchell Sparrow. He's done a 1:17.5, so he's on par with Dylan Radford's fastest time. And yeah, he maybe just hasn't had the pace tonight either, Mitchell Sparrow, like to actually get up to Sean. He's been flying.
Yeah, we saw Sean was able to put it on pole, and unfortunately we didn't get to see how the battle was going to pan out between Sean and Mitch, because it all went horribly wrong for Mitch Sparrow at the start of the race, as soon as the green flag flew, pretty much.
Yeah, and another thing is we've been talking Sean up the whole race, and no commentators curse.
That is correct.
Yeah, so yeah, he's maybe found himself immune, or is it all about to unfold after we've mentioned it? That'd be funny. I would, you wouldn't read about it, would you?
You would not.
You'd hear about it because you'd never hear the end of it. It'd be the ultimate curse. Josh is just maybe through this part of the track, he's got it down. He's right on the back, and I think it's just that last hairpin, that big boat that he's driving, is a little bit harder to get around there than that little nimble M8.
Certainly getting good turn in the Ford though. He was able to hold it so much tighter off the right hander into that car park section, but maybe just not the slow speed turn through that tight hairpin that he needs to get the run, because he does just seem to keep dropping back on the exit of that hairpin and then closes it back up through the rest of the lap, but he just can't quite get close enough in the spots where he needs to make a move. Just on the commentators' curses as well, I know Ian Smith's been throwing out a few of those during the cricket recently, so that can happen to the best of them.
Well, you've been listening to it in the truck, have you, mate?
I sure have.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't heard Ian Smith commentate for quite some time, but I've been watching it on TV. I've got to listen to the crap that is Mark Richardson. And the weird things that Scotty Stevenson says, he would fit in here.
He actually would, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, anybody that's been part of the ACC would probably fit in here. But any of them want to come and commentate on some fake car racing, then yeah, get in touch with Supercars NZ.
Just for a moment I thought Josh might have been close enough to think about a move into the car park section. I think that's where he needs to get it done, because he's just not getting the run through and off that hairpin to be able to challenge Sean. And Look, if he fires a 50-50 move up the inside, you would imagine Sean's not going to fight it too hard because he's better to just let him go than to risk getting sent into the wall, isn't he?
Yeah, you're 100% right there.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, he sent
Josh,
himself into the wall.
lucky that thing's made of bricks.
Well, it's not
Oh,
right in the rear though, is it? It's crabbing a little bit.
oh, he's got 6 minutes. So that's realistically probably going to be about 5 laps.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
that hasn't registered any data on my data logger either, so I'm not going to be able to bring up a replay of that one.
yeah, there's no track to go off.
It's certainly not. And he didn't
I mean,
come to a stop to trigger crash data.
he's lost about, well, like almost 2.5, well, just 2 seconds, we'll call it. Yeah, it was a heavy hit, and yeah, it definitely looks like it's not turning
Oh,
as
it's coming
well.
in.
He's going, yeah, unlucky. Was having a good run.
Yeah, I think dropping a couple of seconds a lap, he was just going to drop like a stone. So I think this is, well, it's a hard call to make so close to the end. It's probably the right call.
I tell you what, Leaf Swinney's now found himself up in 3rd spot. But is, is anyone going to have to? Everyone's got enough fuel to get home now, by the look of it.
Yeah, I believe so. Les Swinney sitting third in the championship, going in. Just
Yeah,
having a look
Mitch
at where
Barry's 2 laps down.
and P14. So I'm just going to quietly sit here and do some calculations on that.
Yep, that's right. We'll. Nobody's really close on track either, so there's not much to look at apart from Leaf Swinney. He's currently 1 spot up from where he started as well, so found himself up into 3rd. But I'll tell you what, you can, if you want to do something different next week, we're having the Gen 3 Super Soapbox again, which we're going to raise some money for the Cancer Society. And there hasn't been a lot of interest yet, so all you got to do is make a minimum $5 donation through our You Can for Cancer link, which is in the event. It's also in the Discord in the special events section. You can go there, click on that, just make a donation. I'll know it's you, and I'll let you know the password for the server on Wednesday, where we're going to go to Mount Washington. We're going to take the supercars down Mount Washington, and it was a bit of fun last year. We had, I think we had about 15 cars, and had a good time. There was some, we had some drags at the end, or some races, some duels we called them, I think, and it was a good bit of fun, and just something just to round up the year. I know next week there will be a demolition derby as well for Mad Week. Wayne has been talking about that. It will be V8s at Charlotte, I would imagine, under lights. Won't be no stream for that, but yeah, it's just something for everybody just to come in, have a bash, and of course then the following week the new season kicks off, and we don't have the first race for the GT3, but as Shane did say earlier, the round 1 for the V8 Supercar Series will be at Adelaide, and I've seen many videos today on my newsfeed of people enjoying it, so I'm very jealous, and the next time I'm at work, I will be treating myself to a lap around Adelaide in something, probably a GT3. Yeah, get the Audi out and whip it around Adelaide, and definitely be keen to get amongst Miami as well, which is also in the schedule for the V8s next season. A pretty jam-packed schedule too. And yeah, so get yourself signed up for summer as well. We'll bring that up while Shane's still doing his work. You
Well,
can head along to the. Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm rambling on.
I'm well and truly. I just couldn't get a word in. You were going strong. I'm well and truly worked out that, especially because Mitchell Sparrow's actually out of this race, Leith Swinney is doing enough to jump him into P2 in the championship. But Mitchell Sparrow is also just in the waiting room, so we'll grab a quick word with him while we can. Mitchell Sparrow not having a great race tonight and unfortunately pulling the pin early in this one.
What's that? Sorry, I was just popping my message.
Just commenting that you haven't had things go your way tonight, and unfortunately you pulled the pin early on this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, once again in qualifying, my steering let go. Fired me into the fence about a minute to go, so I tried to do a full reboot of the whole sim. I figured out the problem was just the wheelbase overheating. So changed the wheelbase, which is not a 5-minute job. Managed to get it going, but then the steering wheel still didn't have any pedals, so then I had to do the rest of the race on the shifter. Off the line, my shifter's right next to my handbrake, and my handbrake's my pit limiter. Grab pit limiter and then caused the shunt at the start. So
That's what happened.
I have to apologise to everyone that was involved in that, and just everyone that's pretty poor from me, and I'm pretty disappointed in that. And then the car was super fast. Once I figured out how to use the shifter and kind of get into a rhythm, it was really fast. Was coming back at Sean, just had to make a couple of moves. Made a move at the last turn, which I thought was on. And big saying for me is live around the outside, die around the outside. And when you're the third car on the outside, you're going to die no matter what. But then when you straight line a championship contender at the very last turn, that's pretty poor etiquette, I believe, and leaves a pretty bitter sour in my taste, as I thought there might have been a chance to have a shot at the championship.
Yeah, well, Sean's done a fine job tonight, and unfortunately going in, you were in the position where Sean really only needed to finish P4, so I think it was going to be probably Sean's championship to lose, but you were definitely doing the job you needed to do out there, and unfortunately it didn't come off for you. As far as the start, these things happen, and don't dwell on it too much, and I hope we'll see you back again next season for a strong challenge.
Yeah, I hope to come back. I think I put a lot of time and effort into both championships this year. Unfortunately, I missed a few rounds of the Supercars one, but to come back and win a race at the last 4 rounds, yeah, it was phenomenal, and I'm pretty pumped on that. But yeah, put a lot of time and effort, and lived in this room for a little bit. So I think I'm going to take a step away, and I'll see if I'll come back or not.
Oh, cheers and congratulations on some strong running this season, and again, hard luck on the way it panned out for you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for an awesome season. Always good, and if you're on the stream, I can't highly recommend this championship enough. Obviously, there's some things that go on that don't always look awesome, but it's an absolute phenomenal championship with awesome drivers, and I can't recommend it enough.
Cheers, mate. Alright, so Sean McNamara is our champion. We were talking to Mitchell through the end of the race there, and I think Corey didn't quite realise that the race had finished.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened to Sean, and then he put it in a bush. Drag him in.
Unfortunately, no skids from Sean.
He maybe ran out.
Yes, there. No skids to celebrate the championship, Sean.
Traction controls on or whatever, and
Right. You need a map of traction control off button.
nah, I don't do that stuff. Don't map those. Don't put spec maps on. I'm just a simple racer.
You didn't even put the paint on.
Yeah, there you go.
That felt a little paint though, because maybe giving you a little bit of luck as well. So been a good run.
That's getting very loud. I think we better jump up here so we can actually hear ourselves talk. But yeah, Sean, GTE champion.
Yeah, it's a short little series, 4 rounds, and bad luck to Sparrow. For our conversation last week, he said he wasn't changing his gear, and he had gear failure just right before the start of the race.
He did. We just talked to him as the race was finishing, and he had to change his wheelbase. He had that overheating during qualifying, and then he grabbed the handbrake instead of the shifter at the start, and that is mapped as his pit limiter. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, probably should have got a penalty for it, but I don't think we have a rule in the league regarding stopping on the start of a race or gear failure or whatever. So a few of the drivers were a little bit upset he didn't travel the lane for causing that massive incident.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, and we looked. Well, I looked at it and figured that something had gone wrong I thought maybe outside of his control. Obviously, it was inside of his control because it was a mistake that he made grabbing the wrong lever there. So I felt like if it was gear failure, well, it's just one of those things and it happens. But yeah, I think you're right. If it's something in his control, even if it's just a mistake, at the end of the day, it did trigger a pretty big shunt there. So
No, hey, he didn't try to do it, so it's all good. And yeah, so yeah, I feel bad for him because I definitely wasn't the fastest guy on track, but you know, you stay here and you get the results, and you end up in the right place. So yeah, I'll take the champ. The people's champion is back, boys. The people's champion is returned.
he
Well, I
is.
was going to mention that you have been third place quite a lot in a few championships, so it must be a little bit special to actually win one. You haven't won a lot, have you? Like it's
Uh,
I think you've
yeah,
won a few races here and there, but the championship wise, they've sort of been a
alluded.
bit of a drought. But you've
Yeah,
shortened them down, made them 4 weeks to make it easier for yourself. So well done.
correct, correct. No, thank you. I mean, when you got these good looks, I mean, life's pretty easy, you know. Uh, so if I have to lose at sim racing, you know, just to make my life easier, I will. But yeah, a shout out to Jigsaw Racing. Well, obviously my team, even though I didn't have it on the car. Steve mentions that every 5 seconds. So thanks to Steve for putting up with me and obviously helping out with setups for the whole team. And he's a real good legend and a really cool mate. So thanks to Steve. And obviously you guys for broadcasting it and taking time out of your days to stream and race control as well. It's a big show that goes on to put this on. It's very, for all volunteers. We do appreciate you guys' efforts. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Sean. And while we're talking about streaming, we did cover off on the stream that I'm taking a season off next season. So can you run through a little bit of how the streaming's going to work next season?
I sure can. So, um, hot off the press, we do have an ex-winner. He is going to be streaming the GT3s, which is Stephen McCartan. I've been told he's going to pack his computer up when he's on site and take it with him. That's how committed he is.
Oh, very cool.
I thought he was sort of yes or no, but Wayne has come back to me last night and said he is 100%. He's going to take his computer wherever he goes, and obviously we know how good he is on track, so I'm sure he'll bring the same to the GT3 streams.
Yeah, it'd be good to work with somebody different, like somebody new too. That's always something cool, and see how they do things, because you sort of get used to the way Shane or Wayno does things as well. So it'd be a bit of a learning curve for everybody, which is cool. But that's what summer's all about, isn't it? It's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, for the drivers at home, there's going to be lots of drop rounds. I think I'm going to do 3 drop rounds. So even though we start on the GT3 series, will be on Christmas Day, believe it or not. So it is a Thursday. We can't control the days. So and breaking news, Corey, you'll be happy about this. Every championship race, we will be giving away a track or a car next season.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
so
I like
every
that.
single race.
You
Yeah, I
enjoyed
knew you
telling me
would.
that.
Yes, so so look forward to that. So if people at home haven't signed up, and we give away so much to the drivers that your entry fee's almost paid for. There must be only like half a dozen unlucky people that haven't had their money back, through prizes that we give away. So that's something cool we got going on. Div 1 and the V8s is a little bit of an issue. We're not quite sure where we're going with that, depending on the sign up numbers. If we have 2 divisions, it may only be 1. So that could be a learning curve, but 50 cars on track at once is pretty amazing, isn't it, guys?
That'll be interesting into turn 1 at Adelaide.
Yeah, I haven't even bought the track. I'm waiting for my winnings to come through for winning the GTE series. Joking. No, I think we're just, it's such a short series. Wayne's decided we'll just probably throw the podium some t-shirts or something. So, which is all good by me. The GT3s have all finished up, so those guys have just been announced tonight and poster out, and money will be coming their way pretty shortly. as well as the V8 guys. Well done to Dion for winning the Div 1 champion, and I believe Rob won Div 2. So congratulations to him. And the sign up sheet is out there. If anyone at home doesn't know where to find it, just message one of us, Corey, Shane, or myself, Wayne.
No, don't message me.
Yeah, message him at 2 a.m. Please do
Oh,
it.
well, I'm not going to answer at 2 a.m. My
No,
phone lives on silent.
if it wakes you and you're
My
annoyed,
phone lives on silent. Nobody can wait.
if you can wake Corey at 2 a.m, I'll buy you a track. There you go.
Excellent. Let
Not
it rip,
you.
Tater Chip. Bring it on. I was going to
Yeah.
sing Wham, but you've ruined it.
Actually, I was cracking those 80s songs today. I won't talk about it. That's boring. We'll talk about that later. It's funny.
Hey, you're championship winner, so hang on, let's bring Steve in too. He's probably mid-conversation, so this will be funny.
Let's see how it goes.
When you put your foot on the brake, it
Hello, Steve. Hey, Steve, how are you, mate?
good. How are you?
Hey, we don't often get a chance to talk to the weekly sponsors, so thank you very
Oh.
much for being the weekly sponsor, mate, and thank you for everything that you do for Supercars NZ. But
it's my pleasure.
what are your feelings on having a stablemate managed to get himself a championship?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He's good in these cars. I'll give him that. These and the GT3s. He's slowly picking up on the V8s as well. We'll be getting him coaching and that, but yeah, he'll get there in the end.
He will.
Appreciate
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Steve. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, what
He
a good
just keeps
series.
turning up in a weird dress, though, doesn't he?
It's not the dress that worries me so much, but some of his attitude
Whoa.
and
Okay.
processes get me.
Oh, let it all out. Let it all out. You were mid-conversation down there, so we will put you back down there, Steve.
Oh, that's
but
all good.
just thought we'll grab an opportunity to talk to a weekly sponsor because they're not always in Discord either. So it's without the weekly sponsors throughout the year, we wouldn't be able to give away such amounts like $4,000 in
Yeah, that's
2025,
pretty
Sean.
impressive.
That number when you told me was that's impressive, and that's to all the podiums and then all the extras that we give away as well.
Yeah. And that's thanks to obviously All Ports, MRP, Sim
absolutely.
Blacks, and the weekly sponsors. So next season, Steve, we're giving away a car or a track every single championship race. And that is actually thanks to our sponsors. So we couldn't do that and give away that stuff to these guys and mates because iRacing isn't cheap. We all know it. iRacing isn't cheap. So if we can help out just that little bit with the guys, more than happy to. So yeah, and season sponsors haven't been announced yet for next season, so hopefully we'll have an answer for that in the coming week, and hopefully we can get back on Sky. We'll just have to wait and see, but we'll look forward to it, and we'll just roll with whatever we got. So look forward, it'll be good.
Yeah, and hopefully it all just works out nicely like it always does. It just always seems to just works. It just gets there in the end, and that's the quintessential Kiwi way, isn't it?
100%.
It is. Yeah. You always leave things to the last minute, and it gets done.
Yeah, winging it. We're good at that too.
Yeah.
Definitely got it that. Well, I think that is enough rambling on from the four of us for tonight. So I'm going to wrap things up now. Thanks Steve and Jigsaw Projects for coming on board as our weekly sponsor this week.
My pleasure. Thanks very much for all the work you guys do in the broadcasting lounge as well. It's appreciated.
No worries, we enjoy it, and thanks of course to MRP for another season of sponsoring our GT racing here on Thursday nights across the GT3s and GTEs again this season. Big thanks to all our drivers for turning up and putting on a show, and of course special congratulations to Sean McNamara for taking out the championship here at Long Beach tonight. Big thanks, of course, to iRacing for providing the platform for us all to go racing on, and big thanks to everybody for tuning in at home. Broadcasting Lounge will be back on Wednesday for the Soapbox Derby, which will be my last stream for now in the Broadcasting Lounge. And I'll see you all on track next season.
Since I was a kid, I've been a G.